Hey guys, today we're going to be working with radicals. I'm going to have videos on how to simplify, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. So once you're done with this one, make sure you click on the rest. Make sure you subscribe to this playlist so that you can get all of the videos on radicals and know how to do everything for this unit. Thanks for watching. For multiplying radical expressions, the first thing you should observe when doing any of these problems is to notice the values on the outside of the radical. So those are called your coefficients. Notice the index, so that's going to be the small number, and then the value inside the radical, that's called the radicand. So we need to check out what those numbers are before we start multiplying. Our mission is going to be simply to multiply the radicals, and our game plan for doing this is first, we have to check to make sure the index is the same. If the index is not the same, you can't multiply. If it is the same, you're going to multiply the outside values, so your coefficients, multiply your inside values, so your radicands, and then simplify. So the first example we're given is 3 times the square root of 3x times 10 times the square root of 5xy squared. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply the outside values. So we multiply 3 and 10 together, and that gives us 30. Then we multiply the inside values. So I'm actually going to take them and just write them as a long multiplication problem. So I'm going to do 3 times 5. Then I'm going to take my x's and put those next to each other. So times x, and then times y squared. Then from here, I'm going to simplify what I can inside the radical, break it down. So these are already broken down, so the only thing I need to break down is my y squared into y times y. And then I'm going to, since this is a square root, you pull out pairs. So I'm going to pull out a pair of x's, and I'm going to pull out a pair of y's. So it's going to be 30. I have one pair of x's, I have one pair of y's, and then what stays inside is 3 times 5, which is 15. So this problem becomes 30xy square root 15. Julia, could you close the door for me? Sorry, they're like so loud out there. The next problem we're going to do is the cube root of 2x times the fifth root of 9y. When we look at this, the first thing we have to check is to make sure your indexes are the same. Since I have a 3 and a 5, I can immediately say this one is not possible. So I am finished with the second example. The third example I'm asked to do is this giant one. So I check first to make sure my indexes are the same. They're both 4s, so that's nice. And then I'm going to write everything underneath one radical. So it's x to the 12th y to the 16th times 36. When I have an index of 4, if I have exponents, all I have to do to simplify x to the 12th is take 12 and divide it by the index. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. There's nothing left over, so that one's been simplified and taken out. Then I do y to the 16th. 16 divided by 4 is 4, so y to the 4th. And then 36 I need to start breaking down to see if I have any groups of 4. So remember, to come out of the radical, you have to have a group of whatever your index is. 36 breaks down into 6 and 6, which is 2 and 3, 2 and 3. I do not have any groups of 4, so I multiply all of these back together, whatever couldn't come out. In this case, 2 times 3 times 2 times 3 is 36, so I'm left with this as my answer. The last example I'm going to do is the square root of negative 81 x to the 4th times square root of 36. So again, I'm going to rewrite this under one radical. It's a terrible radical. So redo that. Okay. So 81, I can already break it down if I know. So instead of writing it all under and then breaking it down, I'm going to break it down first. So 81 becomes 9 and 9. So it's negative 9 times 9. I have x to the 4th, so Since I have such a small amount, I can actually write them all out. And then 36 becomes 6 and 6. So from here, since it's a square root, my index is 2. It's not written, but I know that my index is 2. So I look for pairs. So I have a pair of 9s. So that means they can come out. So it's kind of like, I explain it like you are going to a party or you're going on a date, so you have to have a partner to go with, otherwise you stay home. So since I have a pair, that means it can come out. Then I have 2 pairs of x's, so that becomes x squared. I use an exponent to represent the groups for my variables. And then I have 6 and 6, so that's 1 pair, so I pull out 6. And then remember, if I have a negative underneath the radical and it's an even index, then that negative turns into a I. So from here I go and multiply everything together. 9 times 6 is 54. Put the I and then x squared. And that is how you multiply. You've seen how to multiply with 4 different examples. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. If you want to get better at math, subscribe to my videos here. If you want more information on math, click on my website link here.